Yeah, what is going on Wednesday?
What's going on? What's going on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Man.
Feeling good on a Wednesday.
I'm telling you, the Mauler is...
That's your new favorite
It's my
thing.
new favorite toy, dude. I love it.
Nice.
It's so much fun. Yeah, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Good to see everybody. Do us a favor, smash that like button. I am wearing my glasses, and like with the lights that are in here, I'm realizing how disgustingly filthy my glasses are. So please excuse me while I
You're excused,
while I fix this.
Well, he does that. Yeah, smash that like button, like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Yeah.
All that housekeeping stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Join the Revv community on Facebook if you're not part of it. Follow the Golden Age Gear podcast. What else can you do?
Check out that
you
guitar
could buy
store.
one of our amplifiers and or effects pedals,
Yeah.
or a t-shirt or whatever. Anything you want to do that supports us would be great. And if you don't want to support us, well, that's fine. You can still hang out.
Also fine, yeah.
We're not going to judge you for it much, just a little bit, just a hair. It's a crazy day today, so.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week, man.
Yeah, so it's been like stupid busy here, and yeah.
These are
we literally sat down here like 4 minutes before we started.
Something like that.
Cheers.
These are well-deserved beers this week, I think.
Yes, I have the
A Radler.
Stiegel Radler, the lemon
what
one.
What else is new? Mm-hmm. I got this Granville Island IPA. I got a second IPA sitting next to me too. No pippers in the fridge tonight, so.
No. Well, I don't even know if we can get them here right now. Mm-hmm. We can?
Yeah, they're still at the Elder Shane store.
Okay, cool.
I know that
so
for a
I'll pick
fact.
some
I'm there all
up.
the time.
I know with the like American booze, like boycott or whatever it is that our government was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, PBR's American. This isn't gonna be good. But I honestly haven't been to the beer store since.
I go quite a bit. I can.
Shit, I don't even remember the last time I went to go pick up. Yeah, anything. Hey, Charles. Yeah, I got your text message too, Charles. I just was really busy today, so I haven't. Haven't had a chance to really look at what we need or if we need anything right now. So, what's up, Joe? How's it going? Yeah, it's the second week with the telly. Yeah, it was the one that was right here, and my Strat is still my number one. But I really like how this feels, and honestly, I didn't like how the pickup sounded in this at first when I got it. It was just kind of like, man, it sounds thin. But after using it last time, I was like, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep going. So yeah, this is the Nick Johnson telly with the G2 into the am I playing the Joey Landreth D25 and the Earthquaker Devices Avalanche Run. So yeah. Okay, so Rev, what is the current custom amp order wait time? Still around a month. Well, to be honest, it's been all over the map for the last 2 months.
Yeah. It kind of depends on what.
To be completely honest, because we might as well talk about it a little bit, because today was the tariff day in the U.S.
Yeah.
We have been like doing everything we possibly can to build anything that was going to the U.S. So, I mean, we even had some custom amps that were literally built for people on a 2-day turnaround, because we were like, well, if we wait, it's going to cost either the customer or us.
It's going to bite someone.
Hundreds of dollars for them to be able to get it. So we prioritized getting whatever we could done and into the U.S. And today's like the first day where it's all of a sudden like you can kind of relax and.
It was weird to not be like stressed to the gills all day too.
Yeah, and I watched the president's announcements, and I actually don't even know what's happening with Canada because it wasn't really clear. So I'm still waiting to hear from our customs broker about what is going to end up happening. But overall, it's like, well, no matter what it is now, this is going to be the new normal moving forward. So we've done everything that we possibly could to fulfill demand that exists, as well as getting some inventory into the states ahead of the tariffs. So yeah, so I mean, normally it should be a couple of months wait for I'd say between 4 to 8 weeks is a normal custom tolex order time.
Yeah.
But It totally depends on, you know, the current workload and the demand and whatnot. And it definitely has felt like we've been going, as far as production goes, that we've been going 100 miles an hour since December.
I can attest to that. We definitely have been
So, yeah.
been racing to get ahead of everything. Yeah.
What's up, Dennis?
So much of that even answered your question. Yeah, it's just very up in the air right now.
Yeah, best thing is if you're looking for a custom amp, just to send an email to sales@revamps.com and we'll give you an approximate timeline. Because it also depends on the model. Like, I know
I was going to say what you're getting
we're
is a factor,
like
for sure.
dangerously low on D25s and the Joey Landreth D25s right now, because we're waiting for chassis from our metal supplier. And we've had a problem with foot switches where a bunch of the powder coating was bad, so we had to send it back out to get it recoated, and it hasn't come back yet. So we actually have been shipping some amps without foot switches with a card saying, hey, we'll ship you your foot switch as soon as we have it. So yeah, it's
wild times around
here, fun mess.
Everybody. Yeah.
But
yeah, fun mess. That's a great way to put it.
But yeah. But we appreciate all of you guys that have bought anything or supported us. Obviously, it does mean the world to us that we get to do this. So yeah, we put up some like demo pedals and stuff for sale, and like I think they all sold within like 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that. Like yeah, it's been great. I know we're going to be putting up some more as we continue to like kind of clean up and start considering what are we. I mean, it's ridiculous to think about this, but like we're starting to think about what's happening for NAMM next year. Like, what are the displays going to look like? So do we need the 8 or 10 pedal boards that we have in total, or do we need less? And is anything going to change between now and then? And yeah, we still had a ton of boards that had the V1 pedals on it. So yeah,
yeah, we got stuff all over the place.
Nice, Rick. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody get any cool new gear this week? I did not get anything.
No.
I actually sold a guitar this week. I have decided that I'm like I
saw you put some stuff up.
Yeah.
I was looking at a couple of them actually.
Bo knows this because he's here. You guys obviously don't get to see it. I'll post the video, but like in my office, I have these pedal shelves that have they're these white shelves. You can show that one, Luke, because I don't think there's anything on there people can't see really.
I don't think so. That's all.
So, nice. Mike said, I would imagine building the company at the start would be more stressful than dealing with the tariffs. Or is it more? Oh, no. I'll talk about that in just a second, though.
Yeah, I got the pedal wall there.
So you can see the pedal wall there. I have a bunch of those shelves like that in my office, and they're right full. And I have some stuff where I have duplicates of pedals. So I just decided I'm going to start getting rid of, a bunch of stuff I don't need anymore. And then same with some guitars. And so I sold a Paul Reed Smith today, and yeah, just stuff that you guys probably haven't even seen on the live streams.
I've seen that. Let's look at that red telly. Is that an EP Rooster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty
that I'm actually sending back down to Dan
because
it's got a B bender in it, and he's like, send that to me. I've got some people that might be interested in that.
Yeah.
So, but
I wouldn't know
of course, once I actually
properly.
get to it. So. Oh, nice.
A Murphy Lab, nice, dude.
Yeah.
And
then also the Fortin Synergy, very cool. Mike, back to your question. I would say it's more stressful dealing with the tariffs now than when we started the company, because when we started, it was literally Dan and myself, and then my brother Kurt, and then Colin. And that was all the staff we had to worry about. And, we honestly had to worry about making, if we could make $5,000 to $10,000 a month in sales, then we were going to be okay.
Yeah.
Where now, I mean, our rent is more than, our rent is probably $7,000 a month. So the the staff level that we have here, instead of having to take care of honestly, in the early days, it was we had to take care of two people. I didn't get paid for the first 7 years that Revv existed, or 6 years that yeah, I think 7 years, and that was fine. Like and I still own another business, and I've always been okay. But now, I mean, not knowing whether or not the market is going to collapse, and there's 20 people that work here that we have to be worried about, like, how do we make sure that they're all taken care of and can pay their bills. That's far more stressful. So, and honestly, the thing with the tariffs for me isn't so much the actual tariff itself, because the reality is, in our position, I'm not saying this about everybody, and I'm not trying to argue the effectiveness or the validity of tariffs, okay? Because I think there's good points on both sides about how they can work to help your own economy. But in our case, the way that would work is that we've kind of already exhausted all of the measures that we possibly can. Like, we buy things in mass quantity. Like, when we launch pedals, it's a minimum of 1,500 to 2,000 units that we're building on the opening run. We do everything we can to get the efficiency down and to get the kind of the like the best economies of scale when we're purchasing or anything like that. So we've seen our costs rise significantly. Pretty much all of our staff have seen, probably somewhere close to 30% increases in wage in the last 5 years.
Thank you.
Because of inflation has been at least that high. So we get to the point where you can no longer cover any extras. Like, you try to buy more, you try to find better vendors, you try to find vendors that are going to charge you less money, but still maintain quality and service and that. And anyway, you just get to the point where we are now, which is, we've held pricing on our pedals the whole way through. We've held pricing on amplifiers. We went up $100 on all of our amps during the pandemic, and then we brought them down when the shipping rates that we were paying for everything came down for getting raw materials in. But through that, we've seen increases in transformer costs, chassis costs, wages, pretty much every raw cost, and employees. And most of it, we honestly have just been like, okay, well, instead of building 200 of this or 100 of this, let's build, twice as much. Like, let's try to do twice as much. And the problem that we're in now is that our market overall has fallen since the pandemic, which we all knew during the pandemic, those numbers and that kind of rate of growth wasn't going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So now we're at the point where it's like, okay, we can't, like, there's no meat left on the bone to trim off anywhere. So any sort of tariffs or anything like that will cause us to have to raise our prices, which we know the effect of that will most likely cause a decline in demand, which then just becomes kind of a vicious cycle, because if the demand declines but your costs remain the same, then you have to raise your prices, because either that or we have to let people go, or we got to find a way to get cheaper rent or something. And I have yet to see anything in my lifetime of owning businesses. I have yet to see anything that is truly deflationary happen.
Yeah.
Where, like, costs got significantly lower. The only time that happens is when you find a way to find a cheaper jurisdiction to get something manufactured, or you go through the economies of scale and you just try to buy more and more and more. So, it's just, we're kind of at that point. And, I was both confused and relieved kind of to see that it looks like in the announcements today that Canada and Mexico, like, as long as you comply with USMCA, you're still fine. So it looks like everything's okay, but we'll find out in the next few days. So, yeah. It's a crazy time.
Yeah, man.
I feel bad for a lot of musicians in our market, because I know Canada has tariffs against some electronic stuff. So I know microphones and I think some amplifiers were being tariffed, coming into Canada. So, like, if you want to get a Friedman, like, it's it's more money now, and that sucks. Like, because the musician's not saving that money, and the company is not getting any of that money. It's just like just a tax is what it ends up being. And the consumer ends up paying it, or the manufacturer ends up trying to eat it if they can, or they split the difference, So I don't know. Hopefully it results in some sort of net benefit for everybody, and that the dust kind of settles on it and we get into a new norm here in the next few months. But all that being said, again, we cannot stress enough how much we appreciate all of the support that you guys have given us. And, when you guys have bought products, it does mean the world to us because we get to keep doing this. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so anyway, it was like a collective, sigh of relief. And Dan, like, buy Canadian. So I will say this. I mean, I'm not trying to advocate for one side or the other. I have so many friends that build awesome stuff that are from Europe, that are from, like, the guys from Valiant Guitars in the Ukraine.
Man, I love those guys.
The guys in, like, there's so many of our vendors in the US that are, like, unbelievable, like, people and builders. And I think it's just unfortunate because all of us lose in this situation. So hopefully things remain the way kind of they are, at least between Canada, the US, and Mexico. And we get to, kind of keep on keeping on. And,
That's best case scenario, is that I get to keep doing this, So.
Yeah. So it is what it is, as they say.
One day at a time. I'm just going to keep showing up and building amps as long as I can.
I saw somebody got a Splon quick rod.
Can you go down there, Luke? I just wanted to see something there.
Also, Scott's right. We owe Val Kilmer a little shout out because he passed away yesterday.
What's with this groove to the foot switch? I don't really understand that. Oh, did we? Never. Okay. I think I know. Bradley's loving the Joey Landreth. Nice.
Thanks, man. Did you get the gold one or the black one? I'm sorry. I should, depending on where you bought it, I should know that, but I just don't anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
after the last couple of days, my brain is just oatmeal. Like.
Yeah. What's up, Brian? Ooh, fancy.
Oh, so fancy, yeah. I honestly think it's my new favorite pedal combination. The Juliana with the Capistan and the Mahler.
Yeah?
It's just mayhem.
I do like your tone with the Mahler. Mine is all set, like, cranked right now.
So I think the guys from
the guys from Kublai Khan are here,
playing it, yeah,
tearing it up. So, Mike G's. Sorry to make Gear and Beer too serious. Let's talk about farts and food from now on. Dude,
yes,
I don't mind
that's
at
more
all.
my speed, yeah.
We were actually talking about the fact that, like, at some point we have to address the elephant in the room of, like, the fact that there's potential tariffs, and we are absolutely in the crosshairs of it, being Canadian manufacturers. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, the amount of stuff that has changed, and, like, the amount that the world keeps kind of shifting in, like, such a short amount of time is just insane.
Literally every day is like, it's just so up in the air. Like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, I was literally driving a truck and trailer, like, jammed full of gear last night down across the border, because I'm like, it's the last chance to get stuff in. We've got to get stock in for Sweetwater and for, MFI and for, like Eclipse Music and, Flatland and a ton of dealers in the States. I'm like, we gotta get this stuff across, like, now. Like, and then today I'm like, okay, so we can send some more stuff again tomorrow. All right.
We still got time,
Yeah. So, Samuel, do you consider the G50 a good pedal platform, man? Sure. I think that all of Revv's clean channels are, like, well suited for pedals.
Yeah.
I would say that the D series, like D20, D25, D40, probably a little bit better for pedals.
I would definitely say so, yeah.
But I've played some amps that I think are really bad for pedals. Nothing against Orange. I had a Rockaverb for years. I liked the Rockaverb. I could never get my Orange to sound good with pedals. I felt like it was one of the worst of the, like, quote unquote, like, pedal. It's not a pedal platform, but, like, as a pedal platform, it was pretty bad.
I had a Rockaverb 50. I still have it actually.
Yeah.
I got kind of a similar thing. Like I love the amp, but yeah, it felt like a little plunky in the clean channel. Like it didn't take pedals the way I wanted it to, and then the drive channel just like was already so hairy. It just like didn't really need it.
Yeah, it's like a cooler. To me, the oranges are like a cooler Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, I still love orange amps.
I would like to get one. I just they don't seem to come up for sale very often here. The Rocker Ribs don't come up for sale.
Yeah.
Used. Also, I've been trying to like pare down the amount of stuff I have because, I mean, you guys can't see off camera here, but there's stuff stacked up everywhere. So, yeah.
Which is very normal. It's not even just this room. There's like stuff everywhere.
No, yeah, like, yeah. There's just too much stuff, and I'm realizing that it should be. A lot of it should be appreciated and actually used by people, and I don't have the time for it. So, you know, like I have an XFX 3, and I have tried it once for literally like 1 minute. I don't need to keep that. So that being said, if you're looking for some gear, you can check out the Revv amplification community. And
yeah, someone made a big post in there yesterday. Yeah, I'm talking about your post with all this stuff for sale. Yeah.
Yep, and I'll be posting stuff that I'm clearing out in case people are looking for some gear. Bradley asks, what makes an amp good at being a pedal platform? Is it just how clean it is, or something in the engineering, or both?
Well, I can't speak to the engineering part of it. That's, yeah. But I would say like my reason for taking the D over the G, like the G series takes pedals very well. The issue I have is just that like the green channel, like the drive channels are so, they have a very definitive sound. So they'll take pedals well, but you won't get the most out of your pedals necessarily by playing in front of that kind of an amp. Whereas the D series is more open, it's more dynamic, I guess. Yeah, I just feel like I can like really hear the flavor of all my drive pedals in front of that kind of an amplifier.
Yeah. Like if you're asking, I mean, I'm not an engineer. Is there something in the engineering? It's more in the engineering.
Yeah.
How clean it is actually not what I look for. Like even right now.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Like my amp. You hear how there's a bit of breakup in there? Like, turn the. You hear how it's breaking up just a little bit, right? Like I have the drive set or the gain set at about like maybe like 10 o'clock. I would actually normally even go probably a little bit more than that on the D series stuff. Like, and actually with that off, it's probably the best way to show this. But like, it's not. This is hard to communicate, you know, without you actually having the guitar in your hands. But it's not stiff. There's nice like natural compression, and notes just don't like die like really quickly, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a bit of, again, it's all buzzwords, but there's a bit of bloom to the notes, right? To me, that, you know, then when I turn the pedal on, you know, it doesn't feel stiff. It doesn't sound sterile. You know, it makes it easier to play. Yeah, so I'd say that, like, to me, the big thing, like, orange amps cleans, and same with, like, say, Mesa Boogie, right? Like, the rectifier cleans, they're too stiff, and that's what I find, like...
that's what I meant by, like,
doesn't
punky,
work well with pedals.
Yeah.
Like... I also find that, like, any amps where, like... where you can roll things off, and it'll clean up. Like I have, you know, the G2 on right now. And if I just turn up. So if your amp responds well to like dynamics like that, that's a huge benefit. Rick says, for me, my DNA is a pedal pushing the front end of a Marshall Plexi hand-wired 68 Super Lead.
That's a sound, dude. Hell yeah. The Swayze train.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Trailer Park Boys reference.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the Swayze Express, yeah. Were you ever a Trailer Park Boys guy? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm really bad at remembering
Oh, it's all good.
quotes besides like
it's the one,
Anchorman.
It's the one they steal Patrick Swayze's train
Right.
to run weed over the border.
Right. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the fact that I had a chance to be on Trailer Park Boys?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. And I don't I'm not close with him anymore, but for a couple of years I was like pretty good friends with J-Rock, like with Jonathan Torrance.
Okay, that sounds familiar actually.
And
You may have told me that.
like he had bought a condo in Nashville, and like him and his wife and their 2 daughters would be like down in Nashville every now and then when like Heidi and I and our kids were down there, so we would hang out. And then
That's
one
awesome.
day he texted me and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing next week?" And I'm like, "Working." He's like, "Do you want to come to Nova Scotia and be an extra on the Trailer Park Boys?" And I'm like, "I'm not flying to Nova Scotia to be an extra on the Trailer Park Boys." And yeah, I regret that I didn't do it.
That's
I
amazing,
should have
dude.
done it,
Yeah, you should have.
But yeah,
Was this like before they were on Netflix?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I think. Well, I don't remember. Like, when were they on Netflix?
I don't remember. I just remember it was towards like the end of the.
So like
Yeah,
it was
they run.
maybe they might have been on Netflix already. This would have been probably around like 20. Well, yeah, probably like 2014, 2015.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Actually,
Time
probably
is so
later than
weird
that.
to me.
Actually, probably like 2017. So yes, they probably
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, yeah.
That's awesome though.
I haven't seen or talked to Jonathan in a while, but like, great dude.
You should get him in the
And
shop sometime. That'd be
What's
fun.
that?
You should get him in the shop sometime.
If he's ever come through here, I'd love to. I met Leahy.
Leahy's the best, dude. Yeah.
I met
R.I.P.
Randy and Leahy, and man, he was at Duff and Country Fest, and he would not break character.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Amazing.
Like,
That's awesome. That's
like he backstage. We were trying to talk to him, and we were trying to get him to, we were trying to get him to break character at all, and like I kept calling him John instead of
just like trying to go
Yeah.
use his actual name.
And honestly, I can't remember exactly what I said to him, but I did say something to him about like, I'm like, I'm impressed that you've spent the whole weekend here, because they were like co-emceeing the event.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm impressed that you've spent the whole weekend here. And I said, I have not seen you not as Mr. Leahy the whole time. And he's like wobbling with a drink, and he just goes, gives me a wink, and that's it. Like I got one wink, and I was like, yeah, that's really impressive.
That's awesome. Oh,
And-
dude, what a story. That's great.
Yeah, and I had met Sarah, like his daughter, like not in person, but just through Jonathan.
Yeah.
And like I had said, I've chatted back and forth with Sarah about, I think I was doing merch for printing merch for something at HD, and I got printed merch for Jonathan Torrance and Jeremy Taggart's podcast for a
nice,
while.
okay.
And I can't remember what I was talking to her about, but I mentioned the fact that I'm like, I said I've talked to Sarah a couple times about stuff, and he's no way, like he would not acknowledge anything, and I was like, shit. But yeah, M&Ms or Smarties? Oh, dude, Smarties all day long.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, especially like, okay, I mean, let's be honest, like peanut M&Ms are better than
the
all of
best,
them.
yeah.
But plain M&Ms are garbage, along with Hershey's Kisses.
That I can agree on.
They're
yeah.
garbage chocolate. I don't really like chocolate that much to begin with.
I'm not sure if I've had like a plain M&M in like, I don't even know when the last time I had a plain M&M was.
You don't have kids. Halloween, dude. The amount of plain M&Ms. The
Yeah.
only thing, like all of those go straight to like my wife's like baking stuff, being like, you can bake cookies and you
make
can put them in
cookies,
cookies and they're
yeah.
fine. But yeah, I would love to hear
What's going on, Flux?
the poll. Oh, hey John, how's it going, dude? Yeah, but John, are Smarties chocolate candy for you, or are you talking about the like actual candy? Because in the U.S.,
it's
Smarties
different,
are
yeah.
rockets.
Rockets, yeah.
Here, so yeah.
Peanut butter M&Ms? Not like peanut M&Ms, but peanut butter M&Ms.
Peanut butter M&Ms are pretty good. Have you not had
I don't
those?
think I've had those, no.
Yeah, it's a little too much for me, but I'm not a big I'm not a big like peanut butter and like I'm not a big Reese fan.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, I can flex with some Reese.
I'll eat them, and I don't like. I'm not just like, oh, I'll begrudgingly eat them. But once I have like,
I guess, yeah.
no, like if you know how Reese cups come in the 3.
Yeah.
By the time I've had one, I'm like, I don't need any more of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Like
by the time I'm done 3, I'm
it's
like, I
great.
could eat 100 more of those.
Same with like Dave just said Reese's Pieces. Man,
Yeah.
like I like Reese's Pieces, but again, like whatever the box is, less than half of it. Where if you give me something like I don't know Henry Bar,
Yeah.
I would eat 4 of them.
Yes.
You know. So. Justin. Oh shit! Never mind. Then M&Ms are absolute garbage. Nice. Yeah. John, I'm actually shipping your amps to you tomorrow. So I'll tell you what. I'll buy a box of Smarties and I'll bring them. I'll bring them with me and I'll throw them in with your.
Nice, dude.
With one of your amps to check out.
Lucky man.
John's our dealer at Eclipse Music in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, right
one
on.
of the best pedal. Well, I mean, great dealer, but like one of the best pedal selections on the planet.
Nice.
Yeah. We bought a real Echo Plex from him when Joey and I were just there, and it's getting tuned up right now, and then I'll bring it in.
Hell yeah, I can't wait to play that. Reese's Pieces attract aliens, true.
Yeah, Jeremy, we Smarties in the U.S. are sugar chalk pills. I mean, in Canada, we have the exact same thing. They're called Rockets candy. It's my oldest daughter's favorite candy on the planet.
I used to love Rockets, dude, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'm impressed with how you have the Mahler dialed, because I honestly, out of all of our pedals, that is the one that I have, like, without a doubt, struggled with the most.
I didn't even dial it. I just sat down and just, like, turned it on, and I was, like, blown away. I was like, it's so good. And then I've been pairing it with this crazy chorus thing.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like really fluttery delay.
You and Sam with your chorus.
I just love this. Like there's so much movement. It just sounds wild.
And the G3.
That was an accident. I was playing it like this before though, with the chat breaker in front of it.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
That sounds really good, actually. It's so fat. Like
that's the thing. It's like if you play it right, it's like almost bordering on like fuzz territory in a way.
Yeah, it has that like.
It's like that spinny kind of like thing that's doing, yeah.
I mean, it is a bit noisy.
Oh yeah, she's a bit noisy, but so I can make a noise gate. Are you typing out that question there?
You don't have to. I can read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Flux, dude, that's awesome. That's a killer
that.
deal too. Like $15.99. That's like half price for a.
Oh, nice, dude.
Used Revision A. Wow. Congrats. Okay, Thorgernaut. Thanks, man. Yeah. Would we consider doing a 100 PR series? Nope. It's called the 120. And to be honest, I mean, it already costs enough to build them the way they are that I feel like trying to build that, you might as well just buy the 120 at that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're just taking the green channel out of it. At that point, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, to me, that product kind of already exists in the 120. We've had people ask about that too. With like, if we did a Synergy preamp, would we do like the blue and the green on one, and then the purple and the red on the other? And I was like, probably not. It would probably be like the blue and the purple and the green and the red, like so that you could, if you had I don't know if it's like what it's called, like, but the Synergy that takes two modules that you could essentially build a mini 120 if you did that. But yeah. No plans for that right now either. Like,
also, I mean, you just want that green channel too to be the middle ground between blue and like purple, right? Like it's
Yeah, and what we found, to be honest, is the 120 outsells the 100p and the 100R by almost like 5 to 1 with the like 120. The 100p and 100R combined. The 120 still outsells the pair of them combined 5 to 1. So it's, to me, I don't know. To me, that product already kind of exists. So.
4 channels is better than 3. Michael's got the right idea.
Speaking of Revision A 120s, we have a couple of them, I think, like demo amps for sale up on the site. And there's a couple other demo amps up there that, as we were doing kind of spring cleaning, we were like, okay, we're on the Revision B circuit now, so like all of the Revision A's that we had that aren't like serial number ones that we're keeping could go. So
everything must go.
Yeah. Jeremy Rice says, dual channel D40 style with clean and green channels would be fire.
It's like 2 channels with like a.
So essentially a D40, but with the green channel and the D40's clean instead of the. Instead of the like amber channel. Is that what you're thinking, Jeremy? That's interesting to me.
Just like.
I want to do a D40 combo. I want like a 2-channel 40-watt combo that, if we can do it, that it's not too heavy.
I was just gonna say, can we make it not a backbreaker? Because that's the only thing I can worry about.
Yeah, like I think that would be well, and also it helps that I played. I was in Tennessee and I had a D40 that had blown tubes in it in our locker, and I had to fix it. So I was just testing it, and I didn't have a speaker cabinet. I just had a D25. So I plugged the output from the D40 into the D25.
Yeah.
And it sounded so good. And I was like, this amp with like an open back cabinet would sound awesome.
Okay, yeah.
So then I was like, well, you should try that. But of course, as soon as I talked to Dan about it, he's just like, so which other project should we put on hold to do that? I'm like, 0. Like,
Fair enough, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know if we would ever combine stuff from the Dynamist series and the Generator series, to be honest, Jeremy. I would have to talk to Dan about it, and we'd have to think about it. I also don't know, like, the topography of the circuits. I don't know if things in channel 1 influence things in channel 2 on the generator, meaning I don't know if you could just put the generator's green channel into the D40 without something affecting it.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know enough about that either, but
they do use the same preamp tubes. They do use the same power tubes right now.
But they're different circuits, so I'm not sure how like that would affect things,
right? I'd have to ask Dan that. I'm not a proper engineer, and by proper I mean one at all. So, how are the different colors chosen for the different channels? Honestly, I don't know. Dan chose them all. The original amps, like my, sorry, not my hand-wired, but the prototype that I played before the hand-wired, the logo didn't change colors on it when I tried it. It was just glowing kind of like white. And I had told Dan, like, it would be cool to do like different colored plexi panels. Like, you could get like a blue plexiglass panel or something. And I honestly just wanted it to look kind of like the Triamp. From Hughes and Kettner, because I always thought that blue front panel looked awesome.
So cool, yeah.
And he's like, well, I got an idea. You'll see, like when I bring your amp over. So when he finished the amp and he brought it over, I plugged into it and I saw that it changed colors. And I was like, oh, this is much better than what I was suggesting. I'm like, I'll just shut up.
Shut up, yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you that we chose the amber on the D40 because I was involved with that. We chose that just because we wanted something that was different than the generator. Because
Yeah.
the original prototype of the D40, actually the second channel did glow green. And I was like, we can't do this because the green on it is so drastic. Like the channel is so drastically different from the generator's color. I'm like, we need to do something a little bit
Different, yeah.
little bit
Something
different.
to
So,
separate it, yeah.
yeah. So, Frank says, hey guys, where did you get that red Bogner? I sold one just like that to a guy in Canada back around 23 years ago, shipped from the US. Love the amp. Could be, I actually bought it from a auction of a ton of gear from a guy in Vancouver. I bought that in 2020.
Something
When did
like
we
that.
go? When did we go to NAM? Was it 22 or 21?
I went 2022.
Two. So that was then, because I came home from NAM with COVID, and then I was stuck in my, I was like living in my like little
Yeah, in
office
your
thing
office,
at
yeah.
HD, and I was like,
I didn't know you were living in your office thing at HD. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I would like wait, like
Living in your shoebox.
yeah, and the like, there's no bathroom in the office, but there is one in the shop. So I would wait till everybody was gone for the day because I had COVID.
Yeah.
And I would be like, okay, everyone's gone. I'd go in and there's a shower in there, so I'm like, shower here because I didn't want to make my family sick. But anyway, I had nothing to do but to be honest, when I had COVID, I was just exhausted all the time, so I slept a ton.
Yeah.
But then I was like, there's this auction, I'm gonna buy some stuff. So I bought that, the Bogner, the Slash AFD above it, and then the Soldano in that auction, and then a bunch of other cool pedals. So.
I remember the pedals. Yeah, I remember that auction.
Mike Jeeves, what's the worst or weirdest build request you've been asked for?
Oh, well, I shouldn't say worst. Everyone's entitled to their
Opinions?
horrendous style choices. Yeah. The weirdest build, I don't know. That's tough to say.
So
There have been some things that have left the shop though, where I just like, you know, I want to email the customer and be like, I know you
Don't
ordered,
do that.
I ordered you ordered this and this, but I'm gonna just go ahead and do this instead because your choices are atrocious.
the first time I saw a pink 120 and 2x12 cabinet
Yeah.
go out, I was like, whew, you're good luck to selling this later. Like that one, Zach Myers,
Zach Myers did
his
he did pink, didn't he?
they called it the cotton candy amp, where he did like
Pink and
baby
white and-
blue
Oh, that's
and
right.
pink.
Yeah.
That one. But the weirdest, we have a customer that's local here, a guy named JP, that this is before your time.
Okay, yes, I remember
He had
this,
us
yeah.
build a Mark II head and cabinet, and he did not want any Tolex on it. He wanted the Baltic birch
yeah.
head shell stained, because he had built his studio desk out of birch, and you could see all of the ply lines
Yeah.
in all of the seams. So we built his amp to match, and my uncle is a like woodworker who like would build custom cabinets and stuff like that. So I took it out to him to have it like lacquered, and yeah, that shit cracked like, I think it lasted like a week before the finish
Is it
cracked
'cause,
on it.
like the heat from the amp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh no. And JP was like, no, I love it. Like it just had check lines on it, and I'm like, okay, dude, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Happy you like it. Sorry
Yeah,
sorry it's
it
falling
happened.
apart. Yeah.
And that's when we also decided maybe we won't try to do the like Mesa Boogie, like we're gonna stain it and like
Yeah.
like do the ridiculous high end finishes, because we're like, we don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
Nor do we have like a proper like curing facility or like lacquering. And I mean, I know my uncle put like, it was something like 6 or 8 coats of lacquer on it, and I'm like, it's not like it didn't have lacquer on it. So yeah,
Who's
it's
got the time
crazy.
for that? Not me.
But those were probably the weirdest.
Yeah, I don't know, because I've never had anything like that. The zebra ones often get away from me a little bit. Like I don't like the zebra Tolex.
Really?
Oh, I don't like the zebra or the snakeskin. And I know that's not popular. People seem to love the snakeskin. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I always think it looks cool, but it's not something I would want to own.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your guys? For those of you who haven't played with it, go check out the online designer at the Revv site, and
I'm just gonna say, email us some some horrible ones. Yeah.
But what's your guys' kind of favorite? My favorite Tolexes. I really like the pewter trout. Like that's what my
Yeah.
Mark III 120, which Luke just left, so we can't show you it.
We'll get him back in a
But
second.
my
here.
Mark III's that. I do really like the Western white. I think looks really good.
The Western's really cool. Yeah, I like that raised like paisley
Yeah,
thing.
I'm not a huge fan of like a lot of the colors on it. Like the brown one to me isn't my favorite, but I feel the white one I think looks really
The white's
really
cool.
great.
The black's awesome.
Yeah.
The seafoam one's a little wild for me.
Oh yeah, the it's
Or the,
like a
or the gold one. I always forget that we have a gold Western too.
yeah.
There's also that roll of like banana yellow tolex that's like completely untouched. I'm not sure if we've ever made a one of those yellow amps.
Yeah, we made one. That's why we bought it. So
I guess that would make sense. Yeah.
seafoam green's one of my least favorite actually. Like I'm one of the only guys that doesn't like.
Yeah,
seafoam
I like
green.
the seafoam.
And it's
Also like
weird
this
because
one. This
I
is
love the blue.
Yeah,
Like
the dark cherry I like.
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we don't have any of our amps in here besides
Besides the one we're
yeah.
playing. Yeah.
The blue that we did for Landon. Yep. It's weird. Blue used to be my favorite color. I own very few blue guitars unless they are Daphne blue, but I used to love like royal blue.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. I've never been like, Landon's amp. I've never been like a big fan of that. Like
Yeah.
that color blue, the Regency blue.
Yeah. Yeah, not my thing.
Will there be fluffy finishes available?
Oh, I hope so.
Ah, man, I really want to do the like sparkle finishes that you can get them. Mojotone sells Tolex, but the photos of the Tolex online look amazing, and then
Yeah.
we got them, and they just look.
I was
like
gonna
shit.
say, is that like that gray?
That gray is supposed
Oh,
to
it
be
looks-
black sparkle.
it looks
And it looks
horrible.
horrible, and the red is worse. The red is like
I haven't
worse than Fiesta red, and I hate Fiesta
Yeah,
red.
that's he's saying a lot there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the?
Is that the pewter trope? But you just can't see. You
It
can't
looks
tell
like
at all 'cause of
snakeskin under the
lighting.
light there. Yeah.
That's fine. So, purple black Bronco is cool. Yep. You like red? I don't really love the like apple green, like the lime green.
No, the
when
lime
people
green.
get
It's
it.
too much for me too. Yeah, we just had one of those the other day though.
I also just don't like that color very much. Like fluorescent yellow.
Yeah.
Don't really love fluorescent green.
No, I'm with you.
Tweed, like real tweed, is probably my favorite. I like the we do the charcoal tweed. I think looks
Charcoal
good.
tweed's pretty cool. Yeah. The carbon fiber is not bad actually.
Yep. Yeah. I don't. Luke, what's your favorite?
I like fawn slub too, which is like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely not fawn slub.
Really?
Yeah,
He hates
I
it.
hate fawn slub. I hate pewter trout. I don't know why. I just don't like
You're
it.
so miserable, dude. Cheer up.
I know you don't like Wolfgangs, don't like Ernie Balls, don't like all the things I like. Do you hate this telly too?
No,
Bet
I
you do, eh?
I do like that telly. My favorite Tolex. Probably the White Western, to be honest.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That or the British Emerald's really nice too, actually.
The green, eh?
Yeah, I really like
Actually,
that.
yeah, the British Emerald's nice. It's
That's
not-
one of the ones I'm not a big fan of. Oh, I'm not a pink fan. Like, and like the lots of people have asked for a proper shell pink, and I'm like, nah.
That would be my favorite if it was, if we did carry that.
I like the ivory
Like a
white.
shell pink
We've
Tolex,
had
though?
like the ivory white Bronco's cool.
I forget how many Tolex options we have sometimes, honestly.
I like that. Is it British Cabernet? You know what I'm talking about? It's like a red,
Yeah.
red
Not-
with some
not the
black in it.
Garnet, but yeah.
Bronco Vintage Bordeaux. That one. Yes, I think that's actually the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
I
the
think there-
Bordeaux is the dark red one with
Yeah,
the
but
black.
there is a Cabernet though too. Something I'm sure there is.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Bronco purple. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, black cherry. That's the way to go.
Baby blue is probably my favorite. Besides Peter Trout.
Really?
That's my 740, like that Carolina blue or the Daphne blue. Like that's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I go through phases where I'm like, yeah, I want that. Like my 100p wherever it is that I think it's behind the wall actually. Yeah, my Mark II one is a I don't know what we call it. It's like the purple black, but it's like got splotches in it. Like it's not the Bronco with like the black speckle in it.
I'm not even sure if I've seen this amp. It's
Yeah,
a Mark II 100p.
I have it and a 2x12. I don't know where the 2x12 is right now. Might be at my other office.
Yeah.
My Dynamis, like my original Dynamis, is white. That's my original Gen 740. It's Carolina blue. My 120 Mark III, but my Mark 20 Mark 1, Mark II, those are just standard black Taurus. But my Mark III is the pewter trout. My 10th anniversary is just standard because I didn't do anything because we didn't do customizations on 10th anniversaries at first. My D40, I think it's just standard as well. So I don't know where it is right now either. So
the D40 standard looks good though, because like I don't know the way it's like the
faceplates on
the
them.
faceplate, like the gold text, it just matches like that head shell so well.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the customizer, you definitely should. Yeah. What other questions you guys have for us tonight? I don't really know what else to talk about. We didn't really have a lot of plans because, again, it's been so crazy here that we were like, well, we're just going to hang out, drink some beer, and mess around.
Basically been running around like an animal the last 3 days. And
which Revv amp would I say has the best cleans? The Dynamis D40.
Yeah. But I mean,
what Bo's playing.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Sounds great. That Novo sounds great too.
The Novo sounds great. The amp sounds great.
Yeah.
The Mahler sounds great.
Samuel asked, do you have another amp that is going to come out this year? I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. There's nothing in the immediate future.
I was going to say if there is,
but we'll see. We have other amps that we are working on. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that, but just there are other things we're working on, and they will come out either this year or next year. We'll see. Jan, how's it going? Desert Island amp, generator 740 Mark II. Easiest thing for me to answer. That one.
The Daphne Blue guy? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
It's a good answer, yeah. The Mark IIs are awesome, or the 740s are awesome, yeah.
Yeah. Non-Revv amp that would be like a Desert Island for me, if I had to choose something else. Ooh.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just a desert island and I don't have to worry about, like, I mean, that doesn't mean I have to play any other gigs or anything. I'm going to say that Marshall AFD 100 just because it's a ton of fun to play. But, I mean, it does one thing.
Yeah, but it does that one thing
does Guns N'
super
Roses,
good,
like, perfectly. But, yeah, so.
Joey Lander 25 is tire.
Saad asked, what's the typical turnaround for a custom build? It varies, but right now I'd say it's 4, max 6 weeks right now. So, more amps. You say? Can you say more about those? No, just that there'll be probably more amps. So, Will, people are saying that the Joey Lander D25 has a tighter bass response than the standard D25. Is this true? Yes. Also, it's a different low end and different bass response. Like, it's not just that it's tightened up overall. the like frequencies in the Joey D25 are different than
Yeah.
the stock D25.
I would say, yeah, it feels like it has more bass overall. It's like a slightly warmer. It still retains that top end of the 25 had, but it has like, yeah,
Yes.
nice bottom too. Yeah.
Mike Jeeves, is there electricity on the island? Nope. Nope. We just get to look at them. No, of course. Of course there's electricity. Even though I don't know how that would work, but
I'm on
I
next
don't know.
group.
I know I'm very thankful that I don't have to choose just one amp. Like I love so much stuff, and I love the fact that we get to mess around with different things and play with different tones, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I was having to gig and I had to choose something that wasn't a Revv, I would honestly probably end up with like some variant of a deluxe reverb.
I was gonna say the same
style
thing. It'd
amp.
be like some kind of Fender something.
Yeah, like something with a good pedal platform, clean channel that I can put pedals into. But if not, like, okay, let's play that game. We'll play between you and I, and then with them.
Okay.
So, favorite non-Rev amp, or like, what would be your like, whether you own it or have owned it or not is irrelevant. But like, if you weren't gonna use pedals.
Oh, that's so tough.
Well, say you can have like a delay pedal. Like
Yeah.
you can have something to give you modulation, but no drives.
Sure. But that is tough for me because I've been such a pedal player for so long that like it's that's a really tough question actually. Probably go with some kind of Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really gotten along with boogies, like with Mesa amps,
Right.
really. Yeah, and I just like the big like mid range and like throatiness of a Marshall. I'd probably something along those lines. But yeah, same thing if I was gigging though, I'd go with like Defender road every.
If you
every
if
time.
you can have pedals.
Yeah, but yeah.
You guys answer in the comments for us as well. My answer probably will shock you. Yeah, I would honestly. Oh, John says Silver Jubilee. Yeah, great. That's essentially an AFD 100 is kind of a Silver Jubilee. I think I would get that new Bad Cat Era 30.
Okay, yeah, I've been hearing good things.
Its drive is awesome, but its cleans are also awesome. Where the Marshall, like the cleans are, you know, little stiff on the AFD, but the drive is awesome. But yeah, I think that, which is funny because I don't own, like Bad Cats are, like the Era 30 is kind of an AC30.
Yeah,
I do not own anything like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
The AC30 is another amp that I've never gotten along with really.
Yeah.
Love them, love the sound of them. I don't play through them well though. Like, it's just not my amp.
I've had the same experience. That's why I've never owned a Vox. And it wasn't until a few years ago that I played one that I was like, holy shit, this amp is really awesome. And then Luke and I were at Bad Cat after NAMM, and like we went on vacation, and then after vacation we went back into LA, and I got to play the Era 30, and it's really, really awesome. So
Okay.
I'm gonna get one when I can.
If I have one amp, I might actually go with like something like a Boss Katana, something that can just do everything.
Boo! Everyone boo this man. Boo!
The Katanas are actually awesome, dude. What are you talking about? No way, no way.
We're talking about tube amps.
But if I had to do one amp that could just like cover all that ground,
Line 6 Spider. Insane mode.
insane mode, yeah.
Yeah.
Spiders.
Nice.
Spiders were actually pretty sick.
Carvin
too.
the XB. I've never owned a Carvin. I'm sure I've played at least one. I do not remember anything
I've
about
never
it.
played
I would have
through
played
one,
it
never
like
owned one.
in the 80s, or not the 80s, in the 90s, or yeah.
There was a guy selling one on Marketplace here for like the longest time, and it was like had this ugly gray like carpet looking Tolex. I wanted
Oh
it.
yeah, a lot of Carvins have that.
Yeah.
What is your preferred Revv pedal platform amp? Vocifus?
Oh, D40 all the way.
Yeah.
This is actually like my D40. This is my pedal platform amp.
Honestly, I would probably go with the D40. If not, I would go with the Joey D25.
Yeah. I was gonna, yeah, kind of.
Honestly, there's nothing in the D series that, like, if you're just going after a pedal platform, I mean, I've used D20s for so long.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
That was gonna be my point too. It's like anything in the Dynamis series, you really can't go wrong.
There's the Poo Ninja with the P350
Pooh, where have you
6x12
been?
combo. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't know what else to say. So,
Yeah, me neither, man.
you guys have any other questions for us? Because we're probably gonna get out of here a little bit earlier because I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning
I was
last night.
I was wondering what time you got home. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't early. Although I will say, like, everybody's been like kind of telling horror stories of the border, and
Yeah.
like both like Canada and U.S. Customs last night was like the easiest crossings I think I've ever had.
I was shocked to hear how like smooth it went for you.
Yeah. What was it? You weren't with me when it was really smooth going down to Nam, were you?
When it was really smooth.
Did you drive with us this year?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and it was crazy smooth going through, wasn't it? Like, we went in to get the carnet done, but they didn't ask us anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fast.
Didn't the guy give us a hard time on the way in?
No.
Well,
well,
There was that one guy that gave us a hard time.
no, yeah, the guy in the booth gave us a hard time because you guys weren't on the manifest, and he told me
Oh,
that I
that's
had to
right,
make
yeah.
sure that you guys were
Yeah.
on there and something else. But we had no other problems once we went inside,
No, that was
except the
awesome,
one guy
yeah.
didn't. The one guy was trying to tell me how to like that I was wrong about how the carnet worked, and I was
Yeah.
like, I know that I'm not,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to argue with U.S. Customs.
Yeah, you have a gun. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
Any new telephone pedals? Not that I've seen.
I just have the two. I have the tape head delay one, and then I have the dual overdrive. I do want to get one of the other ones, like just because the new ones, instead of being the rotary phone, are the old like push button
Yeah,
ones.
man, I saw this awesome video of the guy that does like mods to these.
Oh,
like,
Petey?
No, a different person. He's like showing how to turn it into a like a stutter pedal.
Oh, cool.
It's like you hit the dial, and then as it like flips down the numbers, it like stutters on
Nice.
everyone. Yeah, like a kill switch kind of thing.
Nice.
Is there an amp switcher for the wall? There is one, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah. I use the amp heat amp switchers. Been using them since 2015, and honestly, I've used the KHE system at somebody else's place, and it's cool. I just think the amp heat one is kind of cooler, and the remote on it and that is just so good. The way ours is configured, we can set the wall up where we can daisy chain them together, and each switcher has eight heads, 8 cabs, and we have an effects. It's a separate 1U rack thing, but it gives you 8 effects loops for it, and you can daisy chain them together. So we can either have like, I think we can fit, is it 30 amps that are on the wall? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then these. Yeah, so we can fit about 30 in total. Yeah, we can either have them all together with our switchers on one thing, or normally what we do is Sam has a switcher and has 8 heads on one, and then I have a switcher and have 8 heads on the other. We do have enough of the units to hook up, either 24 or 32, I can't remember. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. I'll get it hooked up again soon so that we should do some where we use the wall.
Yeah, I'd love to. There's a bunch of stuff in this wall that I've never played.
I got to reprogram the Captor X's because the last time I used them, like, it doesn't have the Revv cabinets in them, and I always hate the 2 Notes presets that are in those
enough,
things.
yeah.
They just don't work well with our amps. It's not saying they're shit. They don't sound as good. I'd rather get some of our amps loaded in, or our cabs loaded in there, and dial them in a little better. How many rack spaces is the G50? There is no rack kit available for it. This has been something that we've talked about for years now, and I don't know when it's going to be done. So I
You're
think,
talking about making the 50 like rack mountable.
I think at a minimum it's going to end up being like 6, maybe even 8 U. Like if you think that this is essentially 2U, right? So 4, 6. There'll be no handle or anything, so
Yeah.
probably 6U. I think that's what the Gen 740 was, so it'd be pretty similar. So Nice, Rick. You got your birthday buzz going. It's always great seeing you too, man. Thanks for spending some of your birthday with us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Mike, you can't imagine driving between countries. Yeah, I mean, Australia is massive, dude. So, we live an hour and 5 minutes from the U.S. border,
Yeah, we're
so.
pretty close.
But if we were in way north Manitoba, you
It
could
would
drive
take
like,
us forever to get
we
to
can
the
drive
States.
24 hours north and still not be out of Manitoba.
Yeah.
You'll run out of road before you can run out of Manitoba.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah. Poo Ninja and array of P350s would be used as an active denial system if played properly. Nice. The 6x12 P350 for the Poo Ninja. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, is that it?
I mean,
I
that's.
didn't see any more
I don't know what
questions
else
there.
there is. So, I think we're gonna get out of here so I can get some sleep. And
I can get back to work.
Flux asked, "Do you test your amps with speakers other than V30s?" If you mean voicing them, I think Dan primarily uses V30s.
Yeah.
He uses a Mesa Boogie 2x12 cab that he's had from me since we started.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean, it might as well just be considered his now. And then he also uses a Revv 2x12 cabinet.
With V30s, yeah.
Yep, but I don't know if his Revv cabinet has V30s or if it has, like, it might have the Retro 30 and the ET90, or it might have a Creamback and a V30. I'm not sure. And I don't know if he's got any other cabs. He does all of the voicing and testing stuff at
Yeah.
home, and then it gets here. And I mean,
then
our stuff is all voiced to sound good with V30s because that's the kind of industry standard.
Yeah.
So.
And then as far as testing in the shop goes, I think it's V30s in that 212 in the.
Could also be Creamback and V30. Like,
No, yeah. Let me open that bad boy up tomorrow, and we'll get back to you on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
It
V30s.
could also be which cabinet was here when we put it in there.
That is a thing too.
Like that
It's,
is very much a thing.
That's not the only cab we've had in that test room, so.
Yep. So, okay, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you guys next week.
We'll
I
see
don't
you
know
next
what we're
week.
doing, but we'll see you
We'll
next
figure
week.
that out next week,
Yeah.
right before we go on and do it all over again.
And for Val Kilmer.